What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Letitia and this is That's So Letitia. And to all of my new viewers, supporters, subscribers, welcome guys. Thank you so much for clicking on this content. I hope you enjoyed the video. And to all of my returning viewers, watchers, supporters, subscribers, welcome back guys. As always, it's a pleasure to have you. And without further ado, we're jumping right into our video. So I am going to prime my face for this look using Fenty Beauty's. Yes guys, remember some of the last videos I was doing, I was hanging on to that little bitty like sample size of this. Nope, I went out and I got a full size of the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Mattifying Primer. So I am going to apply that first. Hope you guys are having a great start to your week, especially after the very eventful weekend that many of us had, depending on what side of the country you reside on. I know out here on the West Coast, it was a mess. I will say this though, like, you have to find the positive in everything. If not, then going on the journey, you lost the lesson. So although like I was freaking out, I had my family freaking out because I'm not used to hurricane talk. I'm barely getting used to earthquakes, but I'm like, even though that is going on, what were we dealing with prior to that? The heat and the non-ending, just relentless sun. Hence, all of this up in here is just, I'm baked right now from the sun. So I say you have to take the bitter with the sweet. You have like 3 days of cloud cover rain, which apparently out here we could use. So that's what I tried to bask in, was the fact of, hey, cloud cover, you don't have to worry about the sun, the rain, vegetation. I'm in the desert, who am I lying? There's no damn vegetation. The rocks, the sand, everything out here pretty much got fed. So that's what I am going to take away from this experience. But anywho, so now that my primer has settled on my face, I am excited to try none other than Miss Riri. Congratulations, second time mommy. Her new addition to her skin line. This is the Fenty Beauty Eaze Drop Stick. It's like a blurring foundation stick. So if you remember, we first had, let's go down the list, shall we? We had the Fenty Beauty. Now this is the OG. This is part of the foundation line that made all the brands step their game up, where you literally only used to have, like, for melanated skin, you would have like the Mocha, the Cocoa, the Chestnut, you know, maybe the Ganache, depending on how fancy they wanted to be. But when she stepped in the game with this foundation and had shade, I mean, there was a shade for everybody. Then all the other brands wanted to step their game up. Some we still waiting on y'all to get on board. But first we had the Pro Filter Mattifying Foundation. Then we went to the Fenty Beauty Eaze Drops. This is the actual liquid form. And now we have Fenty Beauty Eaze Drop Foundation Stick, blurring foundation stick. I do believe that there are a few that I am not in possession of, such as the hydrating Fenty Beauty formula, because at the time my face was already given too much moisture. I needed something that was just going to all of that out, which is why even to this day, this is my absolute favorite foundation from her line. Now in the Fenty Beauty foundation itself, I am 420. Shout out to us 420 girlies out there, girlies and guys out there. And then in the Eaze drop, the equivalent to being 420 is shade number 20. And also she suggests on her website, as well as Sephora and wherever this product is sold, it's also suggesting for you to stick with the Eaze drop shade, which for me will be 20. Ordered this from Sephora during the storm and they were out of 20. So the only option that I had at the time was to get one shade down, which is 19. I'm not quite sure how this is going to rock because I have really tanned, like really tanned, but I'm going to make it work. So I already have my mixer here in the event should I have to do a little dibble and dabble, especially in some of my more tanned areas of my face so it doesn't look too crazy. But let's get into it. Yeah, that's cute. And it glides on like butter. Butter. Especially up in here. This is where I'm like, I need it like 5 shades deeper. But again, we're gonna make it work. It went on like a balm, kind of like the texture is kind of giving cocoa butter. Like if any of you all remember, like back in the day, I haven't really seen it lately, where they used to sell like the cocoa butter in the tubes, and sometimes the tubes would be like yellow and your mom would buy it for you if you like fell or like bust your knee or had a scratch or something. Then they would break out the little tube of cocoa butter and rub it in, and it used to feel so just calming and relaxing on that boo-boo. This is giving me that same texture, and it doesn't hurt that it's in the same type of tubing. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of more of a deeper toned foundation just up in this area, because again, I don't want it to make me look super just like one-dimensional and dried out. So I'm going to be using, this is by Becca, this is the Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation, and it's in the shade name, let's see, Espresso. So just like a little bit, oh my gosh, the pump is not even working. So just a little bit, not too much, because I don't want to take away from the experience of actually wearing the Eaze drop, but I already feel like it's going to make me look really just out of order if I just apply it all over and not have something a little bit deeper to mix in with it. And to get all of this going, I'm going to use my It Cosmetic foundation brush. And last thing I want is for it to feel like blotchy. And for this one, they suggest that you can like apply it with your fingers or a brush. And also I've even seen some people use a sponge. I probably wouldn't use a sponge myself just because the formula is so lightweight. I would be afraid that I would lose more product to the sponge than I'm actually applying to my face. But that's just me. And like I said, outer perimeters, a little bit of Becca's Espresso foundation, just to kind of give it a proper transition into the more lighter shade. And I know some of you are like, oh, well, that's what your darker concealer is for. Yeah, but darker concealer kind of pulls gray, and that's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to do a shadow up there, at least not me. I used to, but no, not this time. Now I'm just kind of blending everything together. And now I'm going to apply my concealer, Juvia's Place I Am Magic shade number 11. And this is going to serve more or less as just kind of like my highlighter concealer. And now I'm just going to blend in the concealer using a damp beauty blender. Last night, I had actually did a video and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be all that, right? I went to edit it and I look like Casper the Ghost. I'm kind of digging like the ombre foundation layering that I did. Like the super rich, super deep foundation up here, like around the hairline. Then obviously the Fenty blur stick. And then even like when I was doing my brows off camera, I applied a little bit of a chestnut tone, just so it kind of has some variations in there that you don't have to, you know, achieve using powders. Because sometimes I feel like powders can get kind of lost in the sauce and not quite translate what it is that you're looking for. But yeah, I did a video, I was excited. Girl, I had even did a few TikToks. And I'm like, okay, this is the one. It was not the 1, the 2, or the 3. It was like the discard, which I end up discarding. And you guys know, if I fumble, I will tell y'all, like, I have tried to do this video. I tried to do this video and I had to do it again. I erased it all and I had to do it again. Remember with the e.l.f. primer? That primer had me looking like I was casket ready. And I'm like, this foundation is my shade. Why is it doing this? It was just not, I used too much. It was just not doing what I needed it to do. So I think I probably still will try and get the 20. Well, actually I ordered the 20. So when that one comes, I probably would prefer to use the 20 all over. Keep doing the ombre, which is like the more richer shade, and then work my way into it, and probably use like the 19 for more or less the areas that are already kind of bright, that don't specifically have a shadow to them. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So now that I have that on, begin to set everything. I'm going to use Huda Beauty. This is their baking powder in the shade Kunafa. And I will be applying it using the same damp beauty blender that I blended in my concealer with. Still waiting on Huda Beauty to kind of get a better casing for this. There's a net and that net drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. That's just me, but it drives me nuts. I feel like I cannot get enough product out of it. Y'all see all that smoke? Well, really isn't smoke, it's powder. But I have more on my finger than I do on the actual sponge. Ugh. I am just not feeling that net. I don't, and don't get me wrong, I love, I live for Huda. Were we supposed to tear it out? Like, I don't know. And I feel like I've been playing this really tiny, like, one-man show violin for a while about the netting in there. And I don't want to cut it, because if that is the literal design of it, which it appears it is, then I don't want to do anything that's going to mess up the product. But this sponge and this netting, it just don't mix. So while all of that setting powder is setting, going in using Jacqueline Cosmetics Daycation bronzer. Speaking of, have you guys saw the video? And I'm sure you have. Remember, don't mind me, I'm a few months behind on a lot of stuff. Oh my goodness, when I saw the video, or at least like a snippet of it that she posted, something to the effect about closing up shop. Oh my gosh. So y'all know what that means, right? If there's ever a possibility that this is not gonna be in stock anymore, we're gonna have some problems. We're gonna have some problems. So I'm gonna have to visit my good old local Ulta and stock up, because I cannot be without. I refuse, and I deserve. That is like one of the absolute best bronzers in the world. It's subtle, but it gives me everything that I asked for. Oh, I can't. I don't even want to know what that feels like, to actually have a good product that just does for you what you want it and need to do, and then it's just gone. You no longer have it. And now I'm going to go in and do my eyeshadow. Palette I will be using Huda Beauty Naughty palette. And yeah, so back to products that I am just not getting rid of. I was on Twitter, y'all already know, M504 by Morphe, and I am going to be using, we're going to go in first with Hypnotic and then Rough, this one here. I was on Twitter and they had like a little discussion going where they were basically just like, how many people they were basically like, how many people have expired beauty products? And a lot of people were like, you know, oh, not me, not me. I think we're all guilty of it at some point in the game. I mean, yes, you do have some products that it's like, if you don't get rid of that, you are going to catch TB, like mascara or lip products. But like a good powder, I'm sorry. Especially when right now there seems to not be so many like new launches that just kind of get you in your feels, get you in your pockets to justify going out buying stuff. So you have to rely on what it was you had that was like bomb when you got it. That's kind of where I am, with the exception of like a few things that I've been seeing. But I don't know, like that's me. I have some stuff past my expiration date, and who gonna check me? Yes, I adhere to like the little can on the side of the products that's like 36 months or 12 months or something like that. But I might go like a month or two over, depending on what it is. And now I'm going to take this shade here, which is called Untamed, and I'm going to apply that to both my inner and outer areas. And I don't know, I was like really excited like about my little comeback videos. I'm saying to myself, I'm going to go shopping, I'm gonna like buy all the new things. And mind you, I haven't been gone that long, but long enough in the beauty world, where I was used to like so many products being pumped out that when I was doing videos on a regular basis, it was kind of hard to keep up. And I go out to Sephora and I'm looking and I'm like, this is some of the same stuff I have already. Or, you know, like, okay, did you guys sell out of their new products, like new palettes, new colors, new something? And even the girl in Sephora was like, lately beauty releases have been lackluster. You know, like you'll get a new concealer or you'll get like a new lip shade that is in a collection that already exists. She's like, but there's like nothing really like, oh my goodness, I need to have that has come out. And I noticed that like with palettes right now, I don't know if we're kind of moving backwards, you know, in terms of the looks that we're going for, but I'm seeing so many like natural tone palettes. And that's okay. You know, it kind of makes it easier for people that are not so inclined to want to do like more bold colored eyeshadow looks. But I'm like, wow, I've honestly, with the exception of like maybe Pat McGrath, I want to say just about all the releases that I have seen in terms of eyeshadow palettes have been along the lines of like browns and neutrals, neutral tone palettes. I'm like, that's rather interesting. Is there one that kind of catches my eye at this moment? Not really. I have so many that have that same color story. And that's just coming from the consumer in me. Now the hoarder in me, the makeup hoarder in me, I'm going to find all the excuses to buy all the things, but do I really need it? No, probably not. Okay, so now I'm going to take a flat brush and I'm going to begin to apply this shade here, which is called Flower Power. This is a very pretty, subtle but bold shimmer glittery shade. And I'm going to apply that in the middle portion of my eye. Very cute. Okay. And now I'm going to go back in using my M504 and I'm going to hit Untamed again and I'm going to put it towards the back of my eye. And then for blush, I'm going to use the Saharan Blush Volume 1. One of those things I just can't let go of. And I'm going to use Abby and Neo. Eco Tools Blush Brush. So moving on to lip. First, I will be applying lip liner. This is by MAC Cosmetic Chestnut. One thing I've noticed lately that I'm like, oh, okay, come on back, grunge, come on back, days of the girl band groups, is that we are really going back to our 90s roots when it comes to your lippy. I've been seeing a lot of variations of dark brown lip liner and clear lip gloss or lip glass in the middle. That, back in the 90s, that was all you needed. You did not need like, you didn't need like a whole production. No ma'am. All you needed was your MAC lip liner, Chestnut, that a lot of us saved up for, or if we were in college or high school, we worked just for this. Like, it was a rite of passage if you had a MAC lip liner in your bag and a MAC lip glass. Clear, please. Oh my gosh. Couldn't nobody tell you nothing. And then the pencil thin eyebrows, please. We didn't know nothing about concealers and all of that stuff. No. But anybody who walked past you on the street, they saw that dark brown lip liner and that lip glass popping, they already knew you had been to the MAC store. And I'm seeing that come back now, and I'm here for it. I really, really am. You had the girls that were bold enough to rock, I mean, regardless of what shade your brown was. You had the girlies that was bold enough to do like just a one little thin layer of lip liner and then fill in the rest with lip glass. I mean, ma'am, we didn't even know nothing about blending. Like how I just did that, kind of blended so the line isn't so harsh. We wasn't into all of that. You throw that lip liner on as thin or thick as you was gonna get that line, and you pop that little clear tube with the black top of your MAC clear lip glass out your back pocket or out of your little purse, preferably your Coach wallet that had the little handle or the little strap. You pop that lip glass on and you went on about your day and couldn't nobody tell you nothing. That was like the best $30 that you spent. Couldn't nobody tell you nothing. And then for those that were not as bold to do something so drastic, to go from the dark lip liner right into the clear lip glass, then we had, oh baby, also by MAC. This, y'all, you just gotta see it. It gives what it gave back in the 90s. It is giving 90s and the early 2000s, baby. It's so funny how the most random things can kind of spark nostalgia for you. As I was putting like these liners on, all I'm hearing is like all the old school music that I used to listen to back in the day. I'm not gonna say no names, I don't want no copyright strikes, I can't sing, but man, maybe I'll put like a few songs up in here somewhere that I'm like in my head, just getting ready, like in the mirror, you about to go out, whether you're going skating into the movies, or if you lived in my neck of the woods, which was at the time Illinois, Chicago to be exact. We getting glammed up to go down to like Navy Pier. Old days, man. And this lip is just, it's giving all of that. It's giving like the supermodel era, like the super supermodel era, like the Naomi Campbell supermodel era. Y'all, let me put my lashes on. I can keep on talking. All right, guys, so here we are. Here's the final look. Off camera, I applied some lashes by Juvia's Place in the style named Zaria. So what are we thinking? What are we thinking? Well, I am going to share my thoughts on the Fenty Beauty Eaze Drop Blurring Foundation Stick. So it says it's hydrating. I noticed a little bit of dryness around my nose area, feeling a little bit dry on my cheeks, but keep in mind, again, I did first apply the primer. So if you are going to use a primer, I would suggest, if you're wanting like a more natural kind of dewy look and not matte like I tend to go for, possibly consider not doing the primer. Definitely not one that states it's mattifying. But in terms of the application, you guys saw that I compared it to like the old school cocoa butter stick that also used to just glide on like butter. So it went on rather smooth. The actual wear, I didn't quite do like my hours long wear test as I typically do. It's rather late in the evening, but I will say this, I don't have like my fans and air conditioner on because of the noise, so I am kind of sweating, especially under like all this hair, and you guys can't tell. Like, I did not apply any setting spray, none of those things, and it's still holding up. So I would say this one is definitely a go. I see myself like applying this in the morning before I have to leave out for work. Again, that was 19 because 20 was out. I am going to see how 20 looks and still keeping in with that little like ombre effect that I had going on. I kind of like how that looks, especially up against my hairline. So that is all I have for you good peoples this evening. As always, everything that I used will be in the description box below. Let me know what you guys think. Are we feeling the Fenty stick? Are you a more liquid foundation lover? Do you kind of go back and forth? Have you picked it up? Does it work for you? The yays, the nays. And also let me know what you guys are thinking about the eyeshadow releases for whoever out there is following. If you saw one outside of Pat McGrath that is like colorful, let me know, because I'm in the market for it. But again, everything is given neutral, everything is given browns, and that's okay, but I have so many of them already. So let me know what you guys think. Let's chat about it in the comment box below. And as always, guys, exercise self-care. It is not a privilege, but a necessity. Guys, check on your strong friends. Your strong friends. But first, because you can't pull blood from a turnip, make sure to check on yourself. Check in with yourself, make sure you are doing well before you extend yourself to anybody else. I'm just learning as I go and sharing it with you guys. So, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. You guys know what to do. And with that being said, until next time, we shall chat again soon.